Behind me, we're looking at the map of the areas we tried to detect for methane or flammable gas, really. And to detect that flammable gas, we use this detector here. To use it, we would turn it on, breathe in it, and it would make a noise similar to that. And then we'd direct it towards areas we may think that may have methane gas. And as the tick rates go up, we would know that there'd be methane gas in that area. The areas we scan for that would be our area of compost and like gardening in between our library and our elementary, right in this area. We checked all around the high school and elementary for the manhole covers. Like that would be a normal area for manhole covers, so like the intersections. And we also went up a block and went around the school. We also checked for anything rotting. So on this street right about here, we had a rotting pile of leaves that was producing quite a bit of methane. Over on this street, we had, I think about here, we had crab apples that were rotting on the side of the street. Yeah, we just kind of went around, looking around. We went through the school and we did find a bit of plants that were obviously letting off a bit of methane. So yeah, just those areas. We went around about a block around our school. Didn't go much farther than that. So that's pretty much all we tried to detect. But the thing is that we could detect things that were rotting or manholes, but we couldn't amazingly get soil samples. Here in Montana, we've got completely frozen ground. And our issue is that you can't see it, but I'm looking directly out the window and it is completely covered in snow. And also, forgot to add, we found lots of methane coming off the fish tank in our ag classroom, that too. Here before me, I have the 3 samples we took nearby our school. This being from the compost bin, about 3 feet down in the compost bin in our little farming section. And these 2 being from 2 little gardening plots. This being a little lower down in the plot than this. Now with these, we tested for methane and picked these up primarily originally because we detected high amounts of methane by them. So I'll demonstrate that there is methane here. And just to calibrate it by breathing on it, so. And here, since it is a little higher up, it's a little, well, quite a bit, not as much, giving as much methane. So with these, since we've detected methane here, we hope to be able to find some sort of macroinvertebrates in some of these samples. Probably less so this because there's not given as much methane. But to find these macroinvertebrates, we will be using this microscope to scan and take pictures and really try and look through this sample. Today we've looked over our samples that we got from our compost pile and again our planters or gardening areas. In these we looked over them, took pictures, and concluded that while they were giving off methane, there wasn't anything living in there. And personally I think it's due to the cold weather we've been having. We have had tons of frost and freezing, and that even if this was like quite low, and this was 3 feet underneath the top of the pile, there was still no chance of really much anything living there. And in contrast, we did look at a planter that was in a heated barn, not a planter, excuse me, a compost pile, and it did actually contain living organisms. And so I think it furthers the belief that, with this cold weather, it is quite hard to find anything in terms of macroorganisms. For specifically living things, not only were we searching for macroorganisms, we were looking for anything that displays the qualities of life, being that they grow, they reproduce, they respond to stimuli, they're organized, and they require energy to survive, really. So, didn't find anything.